This is making a mess, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if this was the appropriate tool for this job. All right, regular viewers, we are back. And first, let me start off by saying thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. We made it over 600 subscribers. It's just outstanding. So I couldn't have done it without your support and enthusiasm. I've really appreciated all the questions and comments and concerns and engagement and suggestions, all that great stuff, guys. So um, this week we are going to talk about making jig trailers out of trash. It's something that I've been doing for a while, and it kind of sounds a little funny, but I like using these small jigs. This is just to focus on today's mission, is going to be making a smaller jig trailer. We're very familiar with the jig trailers that I've made in the past. If you've watched the channel, this size right here, and that's good for your standard, size jig. But when you're talking about something smaller, you get something like that on there, and it's kind of it's kind of ridiculous. It doesn't really go with the profile, the smaller profile that I'm trying to go. I'll cut them down sometimes on some of these smaller jigs, but still, that's a lot of leg that this guy has. So I want something a little smaller for this. And a lot of the stuff that you purchase, is a little bit bigger. You can cut this down, but it doesn't change the proportions of it, if that makes sense. It's still, this size animal. Even if you cut the tail off here, you still got that size. If you want to actually bring the proportions down, there are companies, I'm sure, that make it out there, but the whole point is we're trying to do it ourselves, and I'm going to show you how easy it can be. There's another traditional jig trailer here, and again, when we go to put it on this little guy, but if we were to cut it down, our legs are still the same size. They don't shrink as you shrink the size of the bait, if that makes sense. That sounds ridiculous, but just to be clear what we're talking about here. But I made this guy right here, which has significantly smaller legs than that guy right there. And yes, the body is still the same length, and that's more just to get the sprue in. But also, if I want to use this like a grub apart from it, so it's got more than one purpose. But I can cut that off, and now those legs are much more proportional to the size of the bait. So how did I make this? Do you know how I made this? No, you don't. Okay, so good answer there. All right, so what did I do here? Trash to treasure. I already got one prepared for you. This was part of Trash to Treasure here. This is a piece you might recognize that comes if you buy like flip-flops and stuff like that. And I'll open this up, and I guess the legs will stay on one side. So these little hooks, if I can do that, why don't I do it this way?
Yes.
Pull this guy out of here. I haven't even used this mold yet. This is the second one I made of this style here. But yeah, when you get your little flip-flop doos or whatever they are, they come like that to hang your flip-flops on them. And these things look like excellent little mold masterpieces. This is a Rapala that I found hanging in a tree that somebody left for me, and it had been hanging there so long, it's all rotten, and the lip was broken. I was going to try to rebuild it, but it's not really picking it up on camera, but that's all rotten in there, and it's falling apart. So I may someday, but it was the size and shape that I wanted. So I took this piece of trash, and I put that in the mold, stuck that in the mold, and whammo slammo, after I injected the mold, I got me a lure that looks like that, which has the smaller legs that I'm looking for and the smaller proportions when I cut it down to that size. So moving on, I went to my new favorite tackle store, the Dollar Tree. And my kids, I am blessed with the regular assistants here that grow like weeds. And this is what I was talking about. So they need flip-flops all the time. I don't like to spend a lot of loot on them because they destroy them and they grow out of them in about a week. But each set of flip-flops, if I could get this off of here, come with these little handy things. Don't throw those out. They're useful. Get these out of here.
Yeah, we don't need these.
And I'll show you the rest of the bag of tricks here later. But these things right here, regular viewers, on both sides, if you use your little imagination station inside your head, These make excellent little flippers and tails for soft plastics, right? Picture it like that, kind of. Right, if we take all that stuff off, woo, just look right here. Look at that. We've got ourselves a double twister tail right there.
Ooh.
If you want to go the traditional style where they go inward, you could do that right there. And then you come up with a body and whammo slammo. If you want to make a creature bait, take off these pieces here, hang them on the side. Your I can't remember, a brush hog style thing with the little things off the side. You can use those for that. Let's see what else we got in this bag of tricks that we could potentially use to make lures out of. A Cookie Monster looking thing. We got a baby toothbrush. And we've got a bamboo toothbrush right here. I don't know what I'm going to do here. But when I was looking at this stuff, these things all have potential for me. And they're from the Dollar Tree, so they're dirt cheap. Let's open up this guy.
Oh.
Start with this.
Okay.
Throw that out.
Yeah, we don't need this thing. Goodbye.
Okay, and we're not going to keep this guy like this, but these little rings here with different textures on them, they're enticing to babies, but they'll also be enticing to fish. So, just like Mr. Puddin says, we're just kind of shooting from the hip here. But this is how I come up with my patterns for my soft plastics. Throw that out, please. Oh, look at this thing. That looks fun. Sounds like my dog is attacking our youngest regular assistant there. Let's see, how do we want to cut this? I kind of want this piece right here, potentially for something like that. This is making a mess, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if this was the appropriate tool for this job. There we go.
Woo!
Beautiful. Look at that. Okay, so this is going to be the body of our little lure. All right, I think that's good right there. We'll put a mark on that so that we can see to cut it. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, and then we'll do that again over here.
Yep, cut that.
See that? So that's how that's going to go.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll just put this dude on top of this dude.
Oops. Look at that. Now we figured out which way to go. Look at that. Beautiful.
Okay.
And it's just that easy.
And these aren't 100% symmetrical, I just noticed, but I don't think the bass will notice. So let's put those over to the side here. So that's one lure right there. What do you think of that?
That is beautiful.
Okay. And yes, it looks very similar to that, but that's what I like. And that's what we're going for. So, well, this was kind of neat. This whole kit right here. I think pretty much this right here would be a great drop shot worm in and of itself. So that mold mask is already gone. And then you can see when the fish is coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I get it. Look at the mirror.
That's a joke. Okay. Bad joke. Sorry. That already looks like a drop shot worm right there. So that process is done. But this is cool to have in your boat or on your land whenever you're fishing, especially with a bait caster, especially where you're started using your own bait caster, right?
Yeah,
what do you get a lot of?
Backlashes.
This will help pick out those backlashes. So we're going to add that to your little toolkit and for when you go fishing, okay?
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to use these two guys here. I guess we're going to cut the head off of this. Yeah, I guess we got that. No, I'm going to leave this on here.
Oh.
I'm thinking we're going to pour this here, and when it comes out of the mold, we'll cut it right there, and then these will be like two little flapper-doos.
Flapper-doos.
So we'll kind of do like, think like a brush hog with this guy here. So I'm thinking we cut these off.
I'll put them like right over here.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
If I could cut it off neatly, that would be nicer, but
We could do the same with the drop shot.
Okay, so that's going to be sort of our Carolina Riggy looking.
Kind of use that maybe, like maybe after we make it with this.
Yeah, maybe down there, or
yes.
so let's leave that there. Or
use the rings.
we've got the rings. So let's think about the rings.
Okay. First off, got that.
So when we put it into the mold, we could trim it.
Oh,
Ba-ting,
that
down to
was-
oblivion. Okay.
Ba-ting.
Gone into oblivion. Okay.
Look at that.
So then, after you pour this, when it's got all these little foolish legs on it, if you don't like how it swims when it comes out of the mold, you just cut them off, okay? And then you just have yourself a regular old worm. So now I want to do. We could make this into like a traditional worm, right? Like a culprit worm.
Yes.
By cutting this part of this off of here, or maybe this one. It's a little flatter.
Yeah.
So if we cut this,
like basically right there.
There. Let's see.
Oh, and that went away.
Now you put that there in the mold, and you've got yourself a worm. Or look at this. And you can come back.
Double.
Ooh, yeah, right. Come back around.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
That's not worm shaped. I don't know what is. Okay, so here's some basic shapes we got from Dollar Tree junk, and a little bit of imagination. And let's go make some molds and see what we get. All right. But again, I'm real excited about this guy right here for this little jig. So that's this one. It's going to have this piece in here, and when I go to use it, I'm probably going to cut it down to there because I want those little flappy legs just like that.
Yeah, the little flappy legs.
In fact, maybe I could even cut it right there and kind of do like pork rind style, just hook it through. So, but that's the plan stand. This is a nice drop shot worm little deal. It'll have this little flappy do on it. We know the regular grandpa likes drop shots. And again, we got a
Carolina like baby brush hogs.
Yeah, sort of baby
like
brush hoggishness, right? And maybe I'll take this over to the grinder and try to even these up a little more because my OCD is kicking in there. And then we've got a traditional traditional worm. So this whole pile of garbage with the flip flops, I believe, was like $8 total, and I haven't even done anything with this guy yet.
And this guy.
Or this guy yet. Well, I was thinking of using this because I need a new toothbrush. So, but so let's get making some molds. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I've tried to lay it out here in my mold box, so I can get this worm in there, and it's going to be a good worm, I think. And I've got these two trailers and the drop shot, using that as the sprue for those. So I think that's how those are going to get laid out in there. And then we'll probably just have to re-pour for this guy right here. This is just a little too long. I guess I never thought about that because there's no real rules with this stuff, but I guess I could kind of go sideways with that. We just take a look-see at how that would look. Move all these animals out of the way. If we wanted to use this as our sprue, put it in sideways like that because it'll still work the same. Pour it like that. But that's an option too. I think this will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this works with this. So this is like it's a tongue scraper or something like that, but you can see it kind of curves back up that way. So I think if we were to cut this when we got the plastic, it would have a pretty cool little kick, like double-tailed kind of kicking worm looking thing. So that might be a lure in and of itself. But again, laying that guy out there, taking this. And I know this isn't the tail I just had on there, but just to take a look-see at what it looks like. Because you can do this, it's like Legos. You can just kind of keep taking it apart and building it over and over again until you get what you like. This is cheap enough, and the plaster is cheap enough that you can work it like that. You know, if you wanted to add some fins to your to this worm here, you know, stick those on there. Whatever, cool. We can make a little creature bait maybe with it. You know, having some fins up top and some fins down the bottom. Flapper doos like that. There you go. That's a nasty looking little creature right there. and the world is yours. I mean, it's just as much imagination as you want to put into it as what you can make out of these little bits. Um, so I think I'm going to go with what I came up with there. I like these little deals with it, like that. If I could get it to set in there the way I like. You want to try to be a little bit symmetrical. Like I said, I noticed this is just a little smaller than that one, but I think it'll be okay um, when you lay it out, though, because otherwise your soft plastic, we don't want it to twist. We want it to swim straight. So we have to kind of compensate for that. So that's how that one will look. But anyway, yeah, this was the style that I came up with right there. So we're going to make this mold so that we can shoot and get 2 of these guys and a drop shot worm. And then we're going to make this one. You can make this a top pour, I guess, but we'll make that an injection mold. And then we'll make another mold with our brush hog looking thingy. So, all right, let's get cracking on that. We'll be right back. We'll start with this mold here. So let's get to mixing. Okay, pretty good. We'll let that settle. Let that harden up a little bit before we do it, and let's make another batch of this stuff. So for those of you that think this is crazy, a crazy way to make lures, Roland Martin, the Roland Martin, on his What's Happening Roland little show that he's got, I think it's like every Friday or something like that, was talking about, he is good friends with Gary Yamamoto. They're in business together. You may have heard of that gentleman if you're into bass fishing. The inventor of the Senko. And he said that he had thought it up, the Senko, when he was like in a meeting or something like that, looking at the pen in front of him. And that's how he came up with the Senko. So for those of you that think this is bananas, famous bass fishermen and bass lure makers use the same techniques. They may not go to the Dollar Tree like the regular guy, but the famous Senko was Gary Yamamoto with a pen, according to Roland Martin, and I don't think he would make it up. So while this is setting up and leaking out apparently down the bottom here, so we won't have to beat that around too much. We're going to get these set up, and we'll be right back. Okay, so this one is set up enough to do what we need to do with it here. So let me start out with our little drop shot deal. This is the sprue I use. This is a piece of a medicine injector for your kids. And you have to give them liquid medication that they don't really want. Oh, look at what I can use. Aha. Those little injectors are pretty useful out here in the shop, so I've saved a bunch of them, and it actually worked pretty nice for the sprue. So that's what I use that for. I'm just filling this with petroleum jelly so that it doesn't get full of plaster. Perfect, just like that. So we'll put that down right here. Press it down, or not really press it, but just kind of slide it into place. Makes a handy little collar for that. Oh, this is setting up just nice, just perfect. Let's put our drop shot lure, Mold Master Dollar Tree dentistry tool in there. Oh, this is just perfect stuff right now. Great. I'm going to put a little bit of petroleum jelly on the broken Rapala bait. I like to see anybody else making molds with broken Rapala baits here. Okay, just like that. And we've got our little kid toothbrush bit here. I'm just going to fill in where the bristles were so that that doesn't get full of plaster and get really stuck, because it's not quite so smooth, but it'll be okay. Put that down right there. This stuff is getting nice and set, so I'm going to press it in, which I always like. I seem to like that better now. All right, now we need legs.
Little legs.
No pressure, only one shot to get that right. No pressure. Yep. Oops, and then you hit your head on the camera and ruin the shot. That's regular professionalism Right there. Do those look sort of equal and even? Yes, I think so. We will call it so. And we may have flummoxed this up by getting that just a little too close to the top there. Rookie mistake. Hate to see it. Now you may be saying, regular guy, that doesn't quite match and line up and all that other stuff. Worry not, regular viewers. We can carve all this stuff out like post-production, in the movies, I think, right? I think that's what the movie people do. All right, now we've got our locators that I borrowed from my kids' marble set when they weren't home. All right, and done. Let that guy set up. Now let's check on this one over here. Make sure we haven't made a brick yet. Brush out the bubbles. Perfect. Okay. Oops, put in more bubbles when you brush out the bubbles. And we've got a little wooden sprue that I've made through the years. Okay, I think that's a country song. All right. And we've got our toothbrush. We'll put a little bit of grease on that. This will probably come right out of the mold, but just in case. Now we need a couple locators in this dog. Uh-oh, I did it again.
Yep. Why are you saying it? Oh, okay. Found a little. So that's where you get the little locators.
Yeah, that's a steel ball bearing. That's not going to work. That'll not do what we want. Okay, so let's get that. Let's let that set up.
And
go over here. Put that over there. Now, regular viewers, we have an exciting new segment here, the Viewer's Corner. But we're going to start it today with, I received a package from New Hope Fishing Lures. So I actually won a contest, first time ever. It was amazing. Never done that before. So let me try and move my shot over this away a little bit. Okay, good. We'll put that there. So this isn't the cool YouTube unboxings that everybody loves to hate and hates to love. But I already cut it open and just to take a look see. But I left it so you guys could see what it looked like in here. So this is what I received. This is super cool. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This was just some beautiful baits here. And I wish I could make stuff this cool. I guess I got to watch more New Hope Fishing Lures channel to make sure I can learn how to make Senkos like that. Look at all the colors going on in there.
Just beautiful.
We've got some green chartreuse stripes and a little red tail. See that? Get that out of there.
Yeah.
All right. And there's like color shift going on. There's greens in there and blues and purples and such. And I don't know if I can do it justice here, but that is a cool looking lure. And means I'm going to have to go Senko fishing again. For some reason, Senko fishing and I never got along, but I know it works. I'm just a non-traditionalist. But this guy, these paddle tails,
is beautiful.
That is super cool. I love that color. I guess you really want to hold it. Is that what you're trying to do? We got purple and red going on in there.
And we got a little bit of blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
and I even like the size. That's going to work good on a big old swim jig.
Yep.
We've got these here worm-colored worms.
Ooh.
They've got some flake in there.
Look at that.
Look at that, huh? Man, ew, and these ones even smell nice. Ooh. Kind of smell like anise. They smell like Grandma's old Italian cookies. Be careful. I might take a bite out of that. Look at this guy here. Oh, wow.
That's beautiful.
That is going to be great. And some of the
plastic.
There's a couple of clear water places that I can fish around here, and I like using things like that. So that is going to be cool. And I even like the size. Thank you so much, New Hope Fishing Lures, for letting me win this contest here or getting picked or whatever. So we've got like a feathered spinnerbait with a trailer hook. What? That is pretty cool. So I know. I think he's up in Pennsylvania there, and I know he doesn't have redfish, but this looks like a red fishy type lure. I'll tell you what. With that blade on there and stuff, good goodness. Wow, we're going to have to
That
try
is
that out
beautiful.
here when we finally get out to go red fishing. But
That's the best one of them.
that is pretty cool. I like it because the wind is always howling down here on the coast where I'm at, the Gulf Coast, and having something that's a little heavier like that in a compact shape, that's always good. They love the gold blades. I like that too. We got a lot of stained water when you're fishing on the coast. Man, this thing is going to be really cool. So thank you so much. And
Yes.
now we're going to cut to what I like to call the viewer's corner. It's a new little segment here. I have been receiving some emails from some of you regular viewers showing me the creations that you guys have made. And I just appreciate the support and the engagement, like I said. So we're going to show those off right now. So here's some pictures from OBX Surf, Sound, and Fishing that use a plaster mold to make leaded weights for his hooks. And Tez's Kayak Fishing made these top pour plaster molds, which he made these lures, and he liked it so much he made a two-piece plaster mold. And here's a couple lures submitted to us by a regular viewer that wished to remain anonymous, but they just look great. Thank you. All right, let's get this cleaned up without hitting the camera mount. That'd be nice. All right, our molds are set up. In fact, they set up a while ago. And thank you so much. And give me the plaster, please.
Yes, sir.
So people have asked about how long do you have to let this set before you can pour the next layer. It just has to be hard enough so that when you touch it, you're not manipulating it anymore. It doesn't have to be fully set. So that can be, fairly fast. I don't exactly have a time limit, I'm sorry, but that can be fairly fast after you have poured that layer in there. This one that I let get a little harder than normal, that would have been pretty quick, in fact, after I had gone into oblivion. After I had done that, before I could have poured the second layer here. Unfortunately, time and tide waiteth for no man, and I had an appointment I had to get to, so I couldn't do it right then. So make sure the little bits like that come out. I've been having some good luck using the cooking spray.
It does look weird with it on. It looks like a bunch of bubbles.
Well, the bubbles will go away. If not, I have a heat gun as well.
It smells like butter.
Well, because it's a butter cooking spray. You could use any oil-based spray-on product, I'm sure. You know, if you're a die-hard WD fan, WD-40 fan, if you wanted to maybe try lithium grease, that would probably work really well. But this stuff is less expensive than all those, generally speaking. All right, give me the other cup, please.
Yes, sir. They're both blue, my favorite colors.
I'm glad those are your favorite color. Okay.
Okay.
We don't want to put our little face down in there because, again, that's a pretty nasty powder that you don't want to drink.
That's why I walked away.
All right, go
You can hear
team.
me in the distance, everyone.
We can hear you in the distance. People can usually hear you in the distance, in fact. In fact, on a still, cold, cool, clear night, when it's silent about the land, you can probably hear a little youngest regular assistant make noise because you got one speed, and that's loud. That's for sure.
And you have one speed. That's creative.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you're creative.
You think so?
Yes, you're creative. Make a quick read and keep making noise. I can do some shaking.
So please wash them out.
Shake, 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 shake. Like this. Okay, not that hard though. Okay.
Okay, we'll let these set up. We'll be right back. While those molds are drying, some of my more astute viewers might have noticed there was yet another toothbrush that I hadn't done anything with. And that wasn't because I forgot. This is a charcoal infused bristles. Okay, this one's eco-friendly. I hate when my toothbrush is an enemy of the economy. I don't think that's what they mean. Okay, so we've got this here wooden style toothbrush, and this is going to require more than just a little clipping.
Oh
Okay,
yes, finally.
wowzers! All right, some of you may well recognize a shape like this. It kind of looks like the what?
Paintbrush handle.
Woo wee! It sure does. We're going to
And-
make a little smaller one here, and we're going to use that
Ooh,
as a
I'm
sprue
excited.
for the next mold that we're making with this project. Okay, so I guess I forgot to record that. But basically, I've been using the Dremel tool to make a better wedge tail here. I used the pencil to draw out the arc that I wanted. And I'm just using this Dremel to sneak in here and give it that wedge shape so that it'll have that little wiggle. I started to carve down the sides just a skosh. I'll probably do that a little more here. I think we have done enough damage to this. That's where we're going to leave it at. So it's very reminiscent of the paintbrush lure. Like I said, I just wanted to downscale it. That way I can put it on one of my little bitsy bug jigs and get that little wedge tail flappy action, reminiscent of a fish. And you know, possibly if we can cut it down to fit, whatever, it'll do that as well. But we just got to dip this guy in some polyurethane to make sure it's cleaned up, and then we can make our other molds with it once those ones have dried. So let's go get doing that. All right, go ahead, dip away, young man.
Yes, sir.
All the way in.
And
There we go. Hold on, let it drip over the can for a second. Okay, now go hang it on our patented drip dryer.
on the plate.
There we go. Okay, now we're going to let that dry. All right, so our molds have set. So now we have to, yes, you're going to do it. Relax. Okay, so my regular assistant is going to unbox these. So take out these four here and these four here. Let me get the magnet tray for you.
Made in America. You ready?
Go for it.
All right.
There we go. Came right out. Very nice.
Yep.
All right. So let that dry some more. And see, it's kind of stuck around there. That's kind of funny, but we got ourselves a nice two-piece mold. Beautiful. Yeah. All right. So
now for that second one.
We'll let that set up for a bit. Ooh, nice. Came right apart nicely.
Look at that. Got that drop shot, fancy drop shot that the regular grandfather likes, and the tiny twin tail, fish, creature bait things, whatever you call them.
You good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's let this dry, and then we'll take it apart tomorrow, okay? But that came out nicely, so you got some bubbles on this side, but that'll be all right. I don't think the bass will notice. So to make the next two molds, I need to rob some parts out of these. We're going to take the sprue out, like so, and the sprue out of this one, like so. There we go. Kind of took a big chunk off there, but we can fix that with some super glue. Kind of goes back together like a puzzle. So that's how we'll fix that. Take this guy out. That came out very nicely. Pop those guys up. Beautiful. So this one we need to carve around this way. Just a little. This one will probably need some fine tuning here because that chunk kind of came out a little unnecessarily. We're going to glue in those pieces, and that mold will be just fine. All right, that came out really nice though, so that'll be a great drop shot worm right there. Okay, let's make up this other mold here. Now, one thing I didn't do was lay this out in here before I tried to make it. I can already foresee a problem. This guy is not going to fit in this mold like that because, yeah, of space and such. See, if I just toss these down in here, make sure it's on camera, regular guy, those are too big. So Already need to do some modifications here if we want this to work. I think we can just try it like that and then cut the back end and see what we get. Because yeah, this is too wide for this. This is going to have to go this way in this mold over here. And I don't want to do that right now because reasons. So anyway, let's try and make one of these guys, one of these worms just like this. And what I got planned for this guy over here, we'll do this one first. Okay, get my parts, be right back. So you might be thinking, that's a lot of bubbles. And you'd be right. But worry not, I have a brush, and I'm not afraid to use it. If I cleaned it off first, like Bob Ross. Or I could wait a few seconds, and most of them would disappear on their own. We're using the shotgun effect from an unclean brush. Seems to be cleaning the bubbles out pretty well. Okay, so let's try. This is on the fly, and that rhymed for free. Put this fish in there. Put this fish off of here. I'm going to try to use a soft plastic that I already made in the mold. This is always difficult to get the legs down. Okay, almost successful there. Let's get our friend tweezers and straighten this mess out. That's good. So this stuff can sink in the plaster, which is not something you want. You have to move it about. Oh, we're touching the side. I couldn't see that from my perspective. That is well below average. Raise it up a little bit. Raise it up a little bit. Okay. Oh, that's good. That'll work. Thank you. Put that down there, please, real quick. Okay. I like them to be symmetrical because I'm OCD like that, and this one is not going to be, but I think I'll make it. I will live somehow. So if we did this right, big if, we will get 3 of these smaller soft plastics that we're trying to get, plus 1 of these new toothbrush fish. Jacques Cousteau never heard of that guy, did he? The toothbrush fish. I wonder if there's a toothbrush fish. Could be. There's a lot of fish. If I could let this go. Beautiful. Now we need marbles. While that it's all non-symmetrical, we'll make the locators non-symmetrical as well. Asymmetrical, as it were. Whammo. Okay? So we'll see if this funky setup works and if we properly used space and time, and let that one dry. And then we're going to mix up the other. Right, grab the plaster for me, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I said I was going to try to make that into a brush hog. I think I came up with a plan to make it brush hog-esque. But I do have a plan for how I'm going to lay out some fins on that to make it kind of brush hog-esque. So we are still going to try to live that dream. The dream is not dead yet. All right. Okay, so like Puddin's Fab Shop here, we're just going to be shooting from the hip on this one. So let's do our reverse operation. I was going to try to lay this under it, and then the other parts, they sunk, so they're gone forever. But we do have this tongue scraper in there, so we'll let that one set up as well to pour the other side of these and start making those lures over there. But our Dollar Tree lure crafting is going all right. What do you think?
I think it's great.
You think it's great? You sure?
Sure, I'm sure.
You sure you're sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Are you sure that you're sure that you're sure?
Yes, I'm sure that I'm sure that I'm sure.
How many shores was that?
3.
3?
3.
3 shores.
Yes, 3 shores.
Okay. Super duper. Okay, it's time to pour the other side of this mold. Let's get these locators out of here, and my more astute viewers will notice that I screwed up and I forgot to put locators in this mold. See how they're not right there? So we're going to try something. I sharpened my spoon to make a quick little spoon drill, like so. Okay, that's one. Here, throw that out.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's two. Just trying to make quick divots. Okay, that should be enough.
Yeah, number 4.
Enough in the divot department. Okay, brush that dust out of there, out of the divots. Brushing out the divots. Let's brush out this side too. Just gonna get just a little bit of. Oh, don't do that. That was too much. Too much enthusiasm on that one. Press that back in, if it will, please. Get back in your home. Go back in your home. That's gonna mess the mold up right there, guys. You might have to glue that in. That was a rookie mistake right there. Don't remove your soft plastic from the mold. Okay, that may be problematic coming out, but we're gonna have to do with what we can here. Alright, heat gun is plugged in. I'm liking the cooking spray on these things. It's acting as a pretty good mold release. And it's quicker than brushing on polyurethane. And again, just like the last one, I did this too early. I haven't mixed up my plaster yet. Another rookie mistake here. Mine's not in the game, I guess, today. So let's let those off to the side. Let's mix our plaster. Oh, Paris, the star of the show. You know him, you love him.
Yeah. Plaster of Paris.
Beautiful. Swap the places. Get that guy set up. Go wash those for me, please, as I say down here. Oh, man. What a mess. Okay, well, we're going to let these set up so I stop doing stuff like that. And then we'll check back in when they're all done. All right, let's unbox this mess. Don't worry about this area over here.
Yeah.
Accidents happen. Ready?
Ready.
What? Yeah, stick with me, kid. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, came apart nice.
Very nice.
All right. The one I was worried about over here, because I flummoxed it up and hit it and dislodged this little guy, actually came out. Where is it? This one actually came out very nice. So we're going to let these dry for a bit here, and then we're going to try to shoot this one a little later, hopefully today. So this is okay that this pulled out right there, because that doesn't matter. It just actually makes the locator bigger. But all in all, not a bad mold. You do got a obnoxious bubble right here, but that'll be okay. We can fix that in the fish, in the final fish. Excited about this. See how this one works. This guy comes out of the mold nicely.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh, fell right apart. That's always a good. Look at that.
That is beautiful. Beautiful.
I'm sure the bass will appreciate the texture here from this pattern on that side. So now we need to get it out of this side nice and neatly, but we're going to let it dry a little bit, I think, before. Oh, no. Oh, it's actually coming out really, really, really easily. So everything I just said, disregard.
Ooh,
okay.
Look at that.
That came out pretty nice. We're going to have to glue that little bit right there.
But overall, that came out really good.
I don't know what that is going to do for us, but we do have a mold of a tongue scraper now. So I guess we can make our own tongue scraper. There's a sentence I didn't think I was going to say today. See, our homemade locators, or homemade, the whole thing's homemade, but our on-the-fly, forgot to put them in locators, actually came out really nice. As you can see, it has been located. So that's pretty good. I'm really happy with how that one came out. So we're going to let this dry again, just like I said with the other guy. And we'll be back. We're going to start pouring for the molds that we made prior to this one, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That was a terrible segue. So I am happy to report that all the bits to make up that last mold came out without issue, without tragedy. Even this guy here that I had to glue down came out. I was able to get it out. So so we didn't lose this one that we had made. So I'm excited to see how this one works in the pool. I have used it already, but I haven't got it on video for you guys. But for having those little much smaller tails, whatever, it kicks really well. So it's going to work really well on a smaller jig like we were trying to do. This one here, I hadn't used that yet, so that'll be a mystery. And I haven't used this little wedge tail yet either because I just made it. So let's clean this garbage up and get cooking some plastic. All right, there's that guy. That looks good. So this chipped right here, and I lost that piece, so I couldn't repair it. So when I pour this mold, I'm going to have to plug that with something, piece of wood or something like that. So remind me to do that. All right, regular viewers. And let me get the other one and carve that out. Get this color a little juiced up again. If you're a first-time viewer and you didn't know what this was, I color my baits now with oil-based food coloring. I found these online on Amazon. The stuff you purchase that's purpose-built for, coloring plastics is super expensive. And again, I'm just a regular guy, and so I'm always trying to find the cheapest way to get the job did, right? I don't think that's the right way to say it, but I found this oil-based food coloring, and it's gone up in price. I think it's $8 now for this package. It was $4 when I bought it, or else I probably wouldn't have bought it. But you've got a big selection of these colors. The bottles aren't huge, but it's a great way to try it, and it does work because it's oil-based. It mixes well with that stuff, and it gets the job done. So I was very pleased with that right there. 10 colors for $8 now. Good way to try it out and see if you want to, mix and match and whatever. And if you want to buy those specialty colors after the fact, at least you have some idea of where they're going with those colors and what they're going to do. So not a bad gig. So in the reduce, reuse, recycle category here, my dad, who taught me how to hunt for lures, was just on a little trip to Florida, and you were fishing down at a beach, you said?
Yeah, it was just a parking lot to a rocky shoreline.
All right, to a water's access. And found these laying on the ground. So always keep your head around. This has got to be $25 worth of lures now. This is a Mark Sosin long A thing. So that's so we know that that's expensive. And you can see it's experienced a little bit of love. So that's good. And this one here, this looks like a Wally World special. Oh, it is the Yozuri, huh? Oh, it is a Yozuri. Look at that. Well, hot dog. Well, that thing's probably 20 bucks in and of itself. But it needs another eye, so we can clean that up and we can put that on there for him. Maybe we'll give him some new hooks, and zap-a-dap-a-doo, he'll have a brand new lure. It's just that easy, people. Oh, I think we got it. When it shoots out the top like that, you probably got it. I don't know if we got this one all the way, though. All right, we'll let those cool. We'll be back when we're ready. Okay, here we go. Let's see what our toothbrush... The film is on. We're rolling. Oh, we got a worm. We got a lot of flashing, but that's okay. We can, Mr. Scissors can fix that problem. But there you go, a purple worm. It went all the way around, just like it was supposed to. And again, these are not super shiny yet because this is a raw mold. But once we put our friends, what is it called?
Polyurethane.
Polyurethane. Thank you. On there. You got remember to put that on your timesheet, okay? You get a shinier fish for that. Okay, for my next trick, I will open this mold. Hopefully. Ta-da. Okay, we've got A, drop shot. B,
Yes.
a Rapala with flip-flops and a baby toothbrush. C,
The baby toothbrush with
flip-flops,
legs.
with flip-flop legs. All right. Okay, get the regular grandpa here.
Here he is.
We will give him his drop shot lure, which he loves so dearly. One drop shot for you, $3.99. And take this guy out. So just a little bit of trimming. That did come out perfect. Even with this garbage mold over here, that worked. So good job there. And this one, ooh, nice and thin. This will be good. This will flap like the Dickens. Oops. Oh, oh, rookie mistake. Broke the tail right off. That was too sticky. Too sticky. The mold release got eaten up. So that's a reject. All right.
And there is
not enough mold release. Here's a toothbrush culprit style worm.
Look at that beautiful worm.
Look at that, huh?
You even get the floppy tail.
They even got a floppy tail.
And the bats are gonna like that.
Okay.
Hey, get up. Hey, save my hand. Just kidding.
All right.
Just kidding.
So now we got to go sneak over to the neighbor's pool and go test drive these animals. What do you say?
Oh, this is not a dog.
Great.
At least it's not a dog. All right. So that I should say. So we're gonna have to shoot this one again because we got to get this guy out of the mold here. We need more mold release. It took me too long betwixt the pouring and shooting and all that other stuff for that to come out. So that was a timing issue. Okay, so I just opened this mold up here, and spraying it at the right time, right before you shoot it, is what makes the difference. So this came right out, and really minimal flashing. There was a little bit around the tails of those guys. You can see right there, but that'll come off without a problem. And this one came out just perfect. Our sprue came out nice as well. No flashing on that. That is not trimmed up. That is just the way it was. I did cut this piece off here. Other than being disconnected, this is how it came out. So I can't wait to try this one out and see how this guy swims, because this is nice thin legs on here. So they should flap really nicely. Okay, regular viewers, when last we talked, these were the last two molds I made. I poured them, they dried, and here's the results. They came out very nice. So we've got two of these guys in this mold here. And we've got our paintbrush, well, our little paintbrush handle lure. This would be a toothbrush handle lure. So I'm excited to see how that works. We got another one of these guys here, and this is the tongue scraper lure. What I'm going to do with that is take my scissors, and I'm going to cut it right in twain, and hopefully we'll get some nice flappage out of that, and see if that can't get used as a cool worm with a double tail, or if we can cut it again and we'll have a smaller tail, because it's kind of like claws, right? Don't those look like little claws? Like that. But for a jig. So, I mean, that's a lot of leftover thing, but I guess we could use that as, you know, a drop shot worm or something, or like that, or a Cinco there, like Mr. New Hope Fishing expertly made us. So, New Hope Fishing Lures. I keep saying that wrong, don't I?
Yeah, New Hope Fishing Lures.
The check's never going to clear if I can't say it right. So anyway, so that's all we got today. We've made all these lures out of garbage, as it were. Well, junk from the dollar store that I got in here. I got a tongue scraper thing. I've got a that was from some shoes. More pieces of shoes. We got a baby's chew toy. More baby's chew toy pieces. Piece of a toothbrush. Oh, there goes that into oblivion.
Toothbrush handle.
Yeah,
lure.
broken lure. So save the pieces. Oh, and we still have a rear view mirror we haven't used yet.
And this weird baby toothbrush we still haven't used yet.
Yeah, maybe someday in the future. So thank you for coming along with this adventure in creativity with cheap things. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the subscribes, all that stuff. And yes, continuing to grow the channel. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments that way, I guess. And if you want to send me a picture of the lures that you've been working on, especially if it was stuff that you're trying based on what we showed here, but whatever lures you're making, there should be an email address that the regular editor will kindly place in this area right here. Send an email there. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to get back because time and tide waiteth for no man. And sometimes I forget to check that email, long story short. But regardless, I will get back to you, and hopefully in a more timely manner going forward. But thank you again. If you have any questions, like I said, as I already said, disregard that. Moving on. You stay regular. Okay, so here is our final result. This is our baby toothbrush and flip-flop curly tail, which was made for our tiny jig here. So we got an excellent wiggle on those tails. Let me go back this way. Okay, there's that guy.
Yep.
Very happy with that. Okay, this is our rubber worm from a toothbrush piece and a kid's chew toy, Cookie Monster's chew toy, I guess. Excellent curl on that tail. It does a recoil thing, which is really nice when it stops moving. There you go, and it slinks down to the bottom like that. Very active tail on that worm. Again, that's a toothbrush and a kid's chew toy. All right, and as the progeny of the paintbrush handle, this is the toothbrush handle. It's a little bit smaller and thinner. Yeah, tail wiggle. Okay, we got another. This is our drop shot. This is another some sort of dentistry tool here. We've done this one wacky style, and just holding the rod. It's just quivering in the water, and I'm not actually doing anything. This is just moving as I talk. That's creating enough action to that lure, just holding it there. And that thing sitting in the water column like that is just going to be deadly. The regular grandfather is adding some action to it, but if he just holds still, holds the line tight. All right, now say something.
Hello.
Say it again.
Hello.
And that tail is actually, if he holds the line tight, if I hold the line tight now and I talk, everything that I say is getting projected to that tail, believe it or not, and you can see it wiggle with your voice. I don't know if the camera is picking up that telegraph motion, but that's actually moving as I speak.
Just look at it.
There you go. And what's your secret with the drop shot?
Don't move it very much.
The regular grandfather is a huge drop shot fan here, and I made this lure for him.
Fish a very small area. Generally, it happens on the cast. When it's just let it sit there, there's action happening as we speak. See that? Looks like it's alive.
Yeah, I see that.
It's wiggling from both ends. Don't even try to cover the whole cast. It's intended to just cover a tiny little area. There's something there. They will come over and they'll look at it and look at it, and next time you move it,
Whammo.
they're
Slammo.
all over.
All right. So we've got that lure I made out of the tongue scraper here. This was probably the least impressive. Those tails don't really do anything like I wanted them to. I mean, they do flap around, but they don't really wiggle like I was hoping. It kind of does do the crayfishy thing there, standing up. So, I mean, if you're looking for a stand-up crayfish, like if you want to cut these down and put them on the back of a jig, I think it would work for that. But if I move it along, they don't really do much of anything. So this one was probably the least exciting bait that we made. But again, like I said, I would still probably cut those off and use them as a jig trailer because they do stand up and work nice, looking like a crawfish claw, which when you think about it really isn't flapping around too much. So it is working good for that. Last but not least, this is the one I made out of a broken Rapala and pieces from Crocs flip-flops. These double tails, the tails facing out, have just such incredible action, so much better than the tails facing in like a heart. Here, swim it along for me, please. Just pull it along. Look at that. Look at that hypnotic double wiggle. And again, this isn't even in a jig trailer fashion. I would probably have this on a jig trailer myself, but this is just on a jig head. Bring it up here to the top for the folks at home. All right, swim it back this way. What a great trailer. I'm very happy with how that came out. And again, I can cut that down and it'll fit on my jig. I've already tried it. And it worked great like this, like just, on a jig head like a grub. So, very nice.
Don't forget.
Hey, what are you kids doing?